Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, and let's see what the market looks like. The Mag 7's up pretty much. Apple's the only one looks like it's down right now, so not looking bad. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. Here we go. There's your heat map this morning. Microsoft, NVIDIA, AVGO's even up right there. Semiconductors, Amazon, Tesla, Google. They're looking good. Meta's just flat. Apple's your red apple right there. So there you go with them. Let's see what's jumping up. That FATN. Remember, we were looking at that thing last night, that fat pipe. That was still jumping up. And CDT right there, CDT equity, that's running up. FIEE right there, trying to run up this morning. And TER, that gapped up, it looks like. And NAM, look at that one trying to run back up. That mineral one. Palantir was running up a little bit, but be careful with it. Doesn't look perfect right there. We'll look at it. And so, yeah, that's what was running up. Sandusk right here. That thing's been a monster as well. So is MU. This one's been a pretty good monster, too. So there you go. And let's go through and see what our SPY, Mag 7, and Qs are all doing. SPY is up, and it is hitting this resistance. It looks like it wants to kind of catapult off of it. Not at the moment, but I'm sure today it could get turned back around. And the Qs right here are up, obviously. And they also kind of look like they would pull back. But again, they could roll right off and keep going up. They did jump up there. We'll have to keep an eye on these things today and see what they want to do. And IWM right here is pretty, it's definitely getting bullish. I'm not going to say it's perfect today. You can still see it have that pullback, but I think you get turned back around here. It starts curling now, and then it stays in this bullish channel cadence. So how are you this morning? And that's what the IWM looks like. So that looks like it could be in good shape. And like I said, Apple's a little bit red right there. Let's see what it looks like right here. If it wants to go up, it could bounce right back. We'll see what it wants to do this morning. It's kind of hitting that 50 area right there. It got through it yesterday, pulled back some. If it gets up back in over that 50, it'll probably bounce up there. So we'll see what Apple wants to do right there. Amazon not looking too bad. It is hitting some resistance right here, and they do have their earnings coming up on Thursday. So we'll be keeping an eye on Amazon right there. Google looking good this morning. That is up, jumped up right there over 1%, looking pretty good. And their earnings are today. Tomorrow. I'm sorry, they're Thursday. Tomorrow is Google's. And let's see what Meta. That one is pulling back a little bit still. It still could pull back a little bit more, but it looks like up here might be its base. But I wouldn't doubt if it comes down a little bit more. So I probably wouldn't mess with that one right there, Sam. And Microsoft, what are you looking at this morning, Sam? And Microsoft right here is still pulling back at the moment. So we're not messing with that. And the video right there, not looking bad to get set up. Watch for any dip opportunities. And Tesla right here, like I was saying, I would expect this one to start running. I just saw before I got on the French offices of X got raided for like child porn or something. I don't even know. I just saw it. It was actually on the Dowie News or the Dowie Mail. It's like the only news thing I ever look at. I just happened to glance at it this morning, and I think it was the headline. Let me see real quick. I'll tell you in a second. Let me go back in and look at it. I just saw it. I just glanced at it. Like I didn't read it or anything. It said, was it there? Yeah, cops raid X's French offices as part of investigation into child porn with Elon. Let's just say what Elon Musk summoned for interview. So interesting right there. We'll be looking at that. You'll be jumping over all over one of these classic morning dips on MU today. There you go, Sam. They are the classic MU dips in the morning, and then it gets ripping right there. So look at that thing. It does it like almost every day, does it not, Sam? And it runs in the afternoon. It's pretty crazy, huh? So anyway, we'll be definitely looking at that as well. Let's look at the rest of these guys. AMC not bad. GameStop down a little bit right there. It was jumping up and could get turned back around. Chewy hasn't been looking so good down there. Maybe that's the bottom for it. And Unity has been dipping down, and maybe that's the bottom for it. So we'll be watching them, I guess, and see what they want to do. Netflix still dipping, and like you guys were saying, that Warner Brothers thing could take like a year or even longer. So I thought this was happening kind of quick. I don't know. I thought we were just waiting for the government to approve it or not, and then they would happen. But anyway, it could be a while. We'll keep an eye on them, see what they want to do. But they're both down, just kind of hanging out right there. That pattern has been amazing. Holy cow. Sam made 23K on MU alone last week. That's pretty wild right there, Sam. Nice job. Beautiful. That's what we like to hear right there, Sam. I love it. So there you go. Great job. Here we go. AVGO talking about semiconductors and MU. Here you are, and they are looking pretty good right there. Look for your MU dip right here in the morning and play it accordingly with Sam because he is the MU master. I'm not gonna lie. And he is in the Discord with us every day. So we will be talking today. I'll be in there this morning. I had breakfast with Dougie yesterday. I didn't even realize that I was going and staying at a school like all morning. But anyway, I'll be on there this morning with Ben. So I'll see you guys there. And SMCI right here up a little bit. And I'm telling you, this one's not looking bad. It has earnings. I think they beat their earnings right there today. And AMD also has earnings as well. And it's looking really good going into it and curling up. So definitely be keeping an eye on these guys. And I guess they're reporting after the close, after the market. QCOM right here trying to get set up, and that's going to have an earnings coming up as well. That's February 4th, so they're tomorrow. So lots of good earnings coming up here. Snow was coming down. It's up a little bit. It doesn't look perfect. Maybe that's the bottom for it, though. And PayPal has earnings coming out. Whoa, look at that dip on PayPal. Holy cow. Wow. PayPal, I guess their earnings already came out. I'm not sure, but what did it say? February 3rd. They might have come out this morning. I'm not even sure if they come out this afternoon, but that's way down. That's for sure. It said something about PayPal. Reports Q4 right there. And the president CEO, what? And names this guy as president CEO Enrique Loris effective March 21st with Jamie Miller as interim CEO and David Durham as independent board chair effective immediately. So, wow, they're shaking things up over at PayPal because it's a disaster over there. So, anyway, let's see what else is going on with PayPal and the rest of these guys. Intel right here up $1.50, and that is curling up looking way better than it did the other day. That's for sure. That one curled up real fast. And you know, Dell's looking good right here. We've been talking about it, and it's cruising up a little bit. And let's look at our IBM down some. Not looking too bad, though. I mean, it's not looking bad. A little healthy pullback look right there for your IBM. And then Palantir had earnings yesterday. It is up pretty good this morning. There you go at 164. But again, I'd be careful. I have a feeling it could get sold off in the morning. So you might want to lock in your profits on that bad boy right there for PLTR. And Sophie right here. That one trying to bounce. That could be the bottom yesterday. They just had their earnings as well. So let's see if Sophie can bounce right back up now. It did take a good dip. So that could get moving. And your Mara and Riot, look at these guys. They're way down. I mean, I don't know if we'll look at our crypto in a second. Where is it? I'll tell you in a second when Bitcoin comes back around. Bitcoin's at 77,968, somewhere there. So it's under 78. It's right around 78,000. Let's put it that way. And let's see, Ethereum's at 2272. So yeah, these things got just completely destroyed right there, I must say. MicroStrategy up a little bit. He has earnings. I can't imagine them going too well. Solana's still at 102 right there. And that is going to happen Thursday, it looks like, for good old strategy. So we'll look at crypto in a second. Let's just see what Hood and Coin and all these guys are up to. And again, we'll see if they bottomed out. I think crypto did bottom out. So these guys should be basing out down here and could be good opportunities. Look at Coinbase right there, trying to make a little base down there. And let's see our Webull right here. This one's been a disappointment, to say the least, but it is in the basement. Maybe now it can get rolling. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. And then Space right here has been down, but now this one might be trying to get set back up, bowing up a little bit. Nothing crazy right there, really just making a base as well. And DJT is just kind of hanging out down there. It's been dipping down. Nike down a little bit this morning, but it is trying to curl up there. It's not too bad, but has a resistance right above it. And McDonald's hitting that resistance and coming down a little bit. So just keep an eye on that. Disney right here after its fall, it went I thought it went up yesterday after its earnings, but apparently not. It just like came dipping down, and Disney is down right there. And then your Oxy is up a penny. Nothing real crazy with the gas ones. ExxonMobil right there it does look like it's trying to bounce back up into the top. Chevron right there as well. So we'll keep an eye on them. And then your DXYZ right here trying to bounce back up a little bit. So there you go. What did Southwest? That wasn't looking too bad last night. It's still on the top right there. That Sterling is down a little bit this morning. And let's look at gold and silver right there. Look at them bad boys bouncing right back up like no big deal. Holy cow, look at that. That's amazing right there. So check them out. And how about Dave and Buster's not doing anything this morning? Your Toyota Motor right here is down a little bit, Luis Rodriguez, but that could move around. And FedEx and UPS are both up. Look at FedEx right there blasting off, looking pretty good as a matter of fact. And GALT right here, not doing anything, but this thing looks like it's getting set up as well. So keep an eye on that. And this Berna has some earnings coming up, not looking too bad. And Garmin wasn't looking too bad last night. It's down a little bit, so keep an eye on that. And look at this one right here in the penny stock world, Doge Mama 9. Check out JTAI. That looks like it's trying to set up at the moment too. And then FFAI right there, not doing anything but getting set up. And that Mimi not doing anything either, but it had dipped down there. So there you go with them. Let's see what you guys are looking at. This MOBX is trying to get to be in a good spot. It isn't doing anything either this morning. And let's see what's going on. Cadence asked, how much capital did you use to invest for that return there, Sam? And whoa, PayPal has been disappointment. Just been watching it. Yeah, not playing PayPal. Let's see if it bottoms out there, Cadence, and see what it does. AMD, SMCI, and Chipotle does report this morning, huh? I didn't even know that. Chipotle has earnings this morning, and it doesn't look that great right now for Chipotle. Maybe it tries to curl back up right there and spike up, but it has been dipping down. SMCI and AMD we looked at, they're both up this morning. Not looking too bad right there. And let's see what our SPY looks like. It is still up right now. And let's see, like I said, it has that red look, but it's sitting right on that trend line right there. So it's an interesting look for sure. And your spot and your Qs right here also up, but also have that little bit of a red look. And again, they could pull back just as easy. Good morning, Progressive G. Sinez Tech was looking good yesterday, wasn't it? And bouncing up. They had some news in New Zealand. I remember reading about it, and they're going to be putting their product over there. So that's pretty good news right there. Let's look at it over here real quick and see if we can get a better idea. It does look like it wants to continue up. It has to get into this channel. So once it gets over this 209, it can start running back up right there. So I'd expect it to bounce around a little bit right there. So it did make that nice move yesterday. Sinez Tech and IMRX wasn't even looking bad right here. It's not doing anything this morning, but that looks like it wants to roll off the MACD right there as well, Progressive G. So there you are with them guys. Look at that. That looks like it wants to roll off and looking pretty good. I know we were checking it out there yesterday. So there you go with them. And let's see what else is going on over here. And let me see what is our news stories up to this morning. How a single tech heavyweight managed to pull the rug on gold in global markets. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but Palantir ignites tech stock rally as metals bounce. Disney's Iger leaves both gifts and burdens for its next CEO. Is he leaving again? He just came back not long ago. And AI of the storm, whatever that means. And NASDAQ futures rise and Palantir stock jumps right there. So there you go. And again, it did jump up, but just be careful this morning. It could get sold off up here and come down. So you might want to lock in some profits on Palantir. Maybe it tries to run up. I would be locking in profits if you played it overnight. I was going to get an option on it. They were 165, I think, was the next one that you could get. And I just didn't really like it that much. So anyway, that was that. And so I didn't do it. But it did get close to it, that's for sure. And DXYZ right here isn't looking too bad with SpaceX news happening in the news, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. And Tesco Mines, TGB right here, looking a little bit better. And that's that copper one. And the metals do look good to try to continue their way up. That's for sure. So I would say your metals looking a lot better right there. Gold, silver, platinum, copper, and palladium. Palladium, I think that's how you say it. And yeah, they're all bouncing right back up after them dips on Friday. So not looking bad right there. What is ARM doing? It was looking pretty strong yesterday. They do have earnings coming up. That's right. And they are tomorrow. So tomorrow's earnings are pretty stacked, I must say. And so yeah, I think that's where you see this market start really ripping again. And yeah, your SPY not bad, your Qs aren't bad, your IWM not bad right here. Let's just look and see. Let's see, Apple right there, still down a little bit, a little less. Wasn't it down like two something? So it is trying to move up right there. Google was looking good this morning, I must say. That's rolling up there. So keep an eye on these. Amazon, it's not too bad. It's hitting that resistance, so just be careful. It does have the earnings coming up there. And Meta looked like it was trying to base out right there. So, and Tesla, not too bad right there. That's moving up. And NVIDIA, not too bad either. So they don't look too bad. Microsoft is trying to make a base probably down there at the bottom as well. So just keep an eye on that. And let's see, what else were we looking at? This TIGR, Michael Anthony's isn't doing anything yet this morning. And let me see what some of these guys are up to. ONDS trying to bounce right there. And Galaxy right here is down. And let's oh yeah, did we ever look at crypto? I don't think we did. There you go. There's Bitcoin right there. I meant to look at it. And yeah, let's take a look and see. And again, like I was saying, I didn't think it was going to do anything crazy. Let's put it that way. So it's just volatile, jumping around, not really doing a whole lot right here for Bitcoin, crypto, and the rest of them. So we'll be watching them get set up. This is probably the bottom, though, so you'll probably get a base going. Again, look at it last time it did it. So it made that big base before it started moving up. I'm not saying it's going to make that huge base again, but it could have to make a base to get cruising there. So that is your Bitcoin, that's Ethereum, crypto, Bitcoin, and all of them look the exact same. So we don't even have to go through the rest of them. And BNNR right here is trying to rebound. But like I was saying before, these things are kind of hard to play because they're so volatile based off of crypto, and that's it. So that's what you're looking at. ASTS jumping back up off that 20 area right there. It was hitting like the 20. And your UMAC right here, let's see what it's doing. That's trying to bounce back up too. So these guys could be running. There's Redwire trying to do it. It was bouncing off that 50 right there, or the 20 and the 200 was Redwire. We were looking at it yesterday in the Discord when we were live trading. Nuclear down, but that looks pretty good right there. Actually, Oklo up a little bit right there. SMR not too bad. So there you are with them. And let's see. EOSE right here. What's this one doing? That electrical part one, that looked like it had tried to bottom out the other day. And iron right here is up this morning. So a lot of these dips have been just absolutely incredible. Salesforce way down right there. Critical metals moving up a little bit. USAR up this morning, not looking so bad. It could look a little better, but not too bad. And RGTI right there, not so bad either. UAMY up a little bit this morning. That looks pretty good. So you can keep an eye on that. And your 4Us right here, Louis Rodriguez trying to run back up. So yeah, these dip opportunities have been getting eaten up. That's for sure. And UNH still down there trying to get set up. I think that one will be a pretty good one relatively soon. And Fly is up a little bit this morning, and that one's been down right there. PDYN, that ran up pretty big last week. It's trying to run back up, isn't it, right there? This light had been running up pretty big recently. They do have earnings coming up. And that day is today for LITE. So we'll see how bright that light is right there. And let's see what else is going on over here. J-Nug's probably rolling with the old there you go, bouncing right back up. So yeah, keep an eye on gold and these guys. They are bouncing right up right there. And we'll see what they want to do to pressure. I mean, it's a crazy look too, because look at the MACD still crossing through the coming down. So don't get faked out. They could bounce around right here, but they are. I mean, the metals are crazy right now. That's for sure. And obviously, we can see that. Everybody sees that. Data Volt down here. And that could be in a good spot. Doge Mama 9. So keep an eye on that. And Sezzle right here going to be getting set up. So you might want to watch that one. And there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty solid market right there, market review. And like I said, you have your Microsoft, Nvidia, AVGO, Amazon, Tesla, Google all up. Meta's kind of flat right there. Apple down a little bit. Apple looks like it's trying to catch up though. Look at it. It was down like $2 or so. If it gets back up onto this 50, it's going to run. It looked like it was trying to, and it looked like a little bit of healthy pullback. So Apple could get cruising right there. And I'm telling you, Google looking really good, and it's still going up this morning. So there you go with that one. And that is what we have this morning, guys. And FATN, that fat pipe right there, was cruising this morning. And that's what we're looking at. So there you go. Cadence Sam, Luis Rodriguez, and of course, Progressive G, Laptop Travel, Doge Mama 9, Robin driving to work, Joseph Levy, and everybody else hanging out. Greatly appreciate it for tuning in and always hanging out, chiming in and helping out the show. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. I'll be on in the Discord this morning, and we'll see what's going to be our best opportunities to take advantage of. You know that, Sam, Progressive G, and the rest of you guys that are always in there. So I'll see you guys in there. And like I say, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on X. I do respond to everybody. And you guys make sure you trade smart and lock in those profits. As always, goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.